Ja,
wir
ist
direkt haben.
Ich habe sie nicht.
Aber wenn wir die hier haben, sollen wir sie heute dann direkt impfen? Dann warten wir gleich, wenn wir steigern. Ja, können wir heute impfen, Herr Steiger? Im Wartezimmer. Kurz
Ja, okay,
warten,
danke.
auch gerne.
You are still in Germany.
I'm going to, the only way I can put this to you, right? Do you know what a political scapegoat is?
What?
Political scapegoat. Okay, so basically what that means is if Scotland front a fake referendum and Germany fakes a refugee crisis, right? A scapegoat is someone that you blame for fake politics that you know is vulnerable and can't defend themselves. So you're not going to blame someone like Merkel because obviously you can't attack them, right? If I'm by myself and I've raised myself and I'm starting to become high profile and then I'm worth a lot of money, if you then sell that person into slavery, you become a political scapegoat. So you make him out to be a terrorist for SNP, which doesn't even exist. When I got here, you make me out to be Jason Bourne and Edward Snowden, which is ludicrous because I work in banks, but I have no defense. So what you're doing is making it political, right? So you're making it look like I'm attached to SNP when that doesn't even exist. You're making me out to be Edward Snowden when I didn't even ask for political asylum, but it backs the fact that Germany's supposed to be helping people and they're supposed to be going for independence when it doesn't exist anywhere, right? Now that's what I'm up against. Now, if you try and destroy someone, you're obviously a man, right? I've had it confirmed that I've been injected with pheromones. I get attacked with pedophile things on my phone, on my laptop, in the street, in the bathroom. I've had it confirmed that I've been poisoned, right? Now the reason my consulates are not helping, right, is because if Germany gave me a political asylum number, the UK owns Canada, right? If SNP in Scotland, which are huge in America, which should have been my escape route, if he then makes a phone call to the Obama administration and I can't get to the States, well then I'm trapped. So even here, I'm not getting attacked by just German people, I'm getting attacked by children, dogs, men, women. Now if you look at any kind of way to break someone, I knew in 2017 this whole thing was a sham, and I tried to escape. Now, if the British consulate knows my passports are in St. Augustine police station, and I've been tortured, right? If I look at you, and the only way I can explain it is, if you have a team, a soccer team, right? And you have the captain, and he's the alpha male. He's the one that tells everyone what to do, right? If in order to break that team, you go after the alpha male, you try and turn him gay, that's what I've had. If I've got, you know what this comes down to? Is I was dating beautiful women in Toronto and I've made a life. This comes down to nothing to do with politics. But now I have Black Lives Matter chasing me, I've got LGBT chasing me, I've got feminazis chasing me. So I actually I'm well aware of the history of what my country did to black people, right? And what your country did to the world. They are basically doing that to one person. Now, I know when it's getting bad, but now I'm being attacked by Iraqi people for American politics. I'm being attacked by Syrian people in apothekas because I'm North American. So that's what I mean by scapegoat. if you it doesn't matter where I go. And the thing is, if you basically take me walking through the park to get to you, right? And there's a woman. Now, the German women are notoriously bigger, right? If she stood there with her dog, right? And attempting to intimidate me, that's a way to try and break me as a man, right? Even if I attempt to do something, okay, you set your dog on me, even if I survive that, you call the police, because the police is backing everything. I can't go down. Now, remember I told you white noise and sonic noise, right? These two things have been used in Europe and in North America. If you are subjected to constant noise, and even where I'm sleeping, what they do is play music and flash their beaming lights every single day. There's no way I can survive this much longer.
What's your nationality?
Well, this is the problem, right? Is because 20 years ago, this would never have happened. The problem is, if you have a British passport, it's probably one or two most powerful in the world, right? Because of the Commonwealth, right? Now, what happened was, everyone in that place, because I was from north of England, they all wanted to kill me. Now, unfortunately, I've had to learn this world as I go. I didn't even know the KKK existed when I was that young, right? Back then, there was very few Germans, very few minorities. Who was the one defending them all? Me. The problem is my aunts, my uncles, everybody, cousins, all tried to kill me because they're like, this guy's got talent. They broke my legs, broke my ankles. I told you, take away so I fled to England. Now the problem is, you get caught in a very difficult scenario because now I've gone to England, I'm in Leeds, right? Do you want to become English? As soon as you say, oh, I might think about it, well, all of a sudden I'm a traitor to that place, and then I get death threats, and I have to move around all over Leeds just to avoid getting killed, right? So the only thing I ever did was I looked at my Canadian passport, and I'm like, this is my only escape. So what they did was, because I had so many death threats, and they broke my knee, they broke my ankle, they sent me to a psychologist who happened to be LGTB. He completely destroyed my mind in 2004, right? And that's when all the antidepressants and Zopiclone started. I was destroyed, massive weight gain, everything. I went to Canada in 2008, and they're like, no wonder you're a mess. The problem is the UK owns Canada. Now, I thought I was Canadian. Because of what happened medically in the UK, I went to Sunnybrook Hospital and they diagnosed me with massive medical trauma. Sent me to women's college trauma. That's why I'm getting all this shit from the feminazis here, who happen to be Jewish, right? And is now doing all this transgender stuff. She happened to be Jewish, and I told you. Right. So what happened was, as SNP is fronting this lunatic breakup, they hacked my Facebook, and this is the level it got to. They contacted Zuckerberg. Samuel contacted the Obama administration to block me from the States. I didn't know what happened. She gave me about 900 Zopiclone a week. A week! So that has the opposite effect medically. You can't sleep, you become a nervous wreck, right? So all this stuff is getting posted on Facebook. All the English are now turning against me, thinking I'm some kind of terrorist or something. And in actual fact, it's Scotland selling me, right, into slavery. So if you basically build enemies any which way I go, it was purely because I'd come off all the antidepressants, I wasn't taking the Zopiclone anymore, the doctors weren't making any money off me, I got my full-time job at RBC, we got 3 months to get them, they paid off Felicia Schizzgal. I guarantee you, if you check her bank account, she was paid, and the only reason was because one of my ex-feminazis bosses at Bank of Montreal was like, I was getting too good, I'd managed to fix my life, I'd managed to get my athletic ability back, my things were on Facebook, I had senior VPs, and SNP didn't exist, and it made a whole bunch of money for the NHS, Edinburgh, rebuilding, as Germany's rebuilding of the refugee crisis, and I got fronted for the whole thing. So now I'm attacked by Muslim, I'm attacked by black, I can't go in a coffee shop, I can't go in a bathroom. Even if but this is going on 4 years. Yeah. So I'm nervous to even contact the American military, right? to say I need help because of Scotland. If this happened 20 years ago, you can't do it, but because of technology, we live in it. And the thing is, you see what now, I was dealing with this in 2013. You see what social media and Facebook was doing, right? Right. So if they were doing that back to me in 2013, if you have an intelligent person who can see beyond the lies, most of the masses will just go, oh, let's get them. That's what I'm dealing with. Now, they are coming after me as a man. And they are actually trying to turn me gay. Right? And they're actually at the point of, this is the last thing I'll say. I'm coming here for the 2 prescriptions, right? If you try and debilitate someone, and they did this, they used the tactics you're using here, they did to me in the UK, but here is grotesque. If I'm sat in a hotel, right, and I go upstairs because, no, it's quiet, they'll make me come downstairs. What they will do is, they will, let's say they have 2 kids there, they will take the clothes off their kids, right, screaming, and then have the kids try and run and attack me. That's disturbing, no? But that's what I'm dealing with every single day. So I don't know where to look, I don't know where to go. Then if I've got LGTB attacking me, then I've got them sending me this on my laptop, then on my phone, then I can't sleep. What human can survive this? And I've got no escape. So it's like I'm in a cage. And the thing is, if I walk along, I know what they're doing, right? Because even when I walk along here, let's see if you, I was probably like classed as metrosexual with a pink tie and everything, way before my time. If you come along here, and I know they're trying to destroy me as a man, if you have a male and a female walk along with a crying baby, I've actually had Germans laugh at me saying, you're never going to have kids. That's a psychological attack, right? Because it's like, you're now a slave, and this is what I've now got what you had. But if you're willing to do, like, this is in the Holiday Inn. I've had it, every single hostel hotel I go to is the same thing. A gay attack, a perverted attack, a transsexual attack me with naked kids. I mean, it's fucking disturbed. Is it not? Right, and I have no escape because I don't think they're even British in the British, but they're feminazis, right? Now, we probably live in the most disturbed time in history, right? With all this women trying to kill men, and it's a mess. Transgender, no one knows who they are. If you come after one person who was kind, generous, tried to help everyone, and you destroy him, that's what this is about. Right. So I've even gone to the Russian consulate 3 years ago and practically begged the Russian consulate in Bonn, because I realized what I was up against. And I'm getting attacked by Black Lives Matter, Nazis and DHL outside the Russian consulate. I've even, when I was in Stuttgart, I went into the Iceland consulate 2 years ago asking for help. What was I attacked with? Transgender! But it's funny, but it's not. Do you understand what I'm being subjected to? If I don't get out soon, I'm going to die. Someone has got to do something. My only hope, anytime I was fired, even when I was at Bank of America, and there's no doubt in my mind, this woman is part of this, Stephanie Pugh, when I worked at Bank of America, get down and give me 10, boy, she's part of the military. Right? Now, if you disconnect me, every German police, their number one thing to do to me was to isolate me. It's like if you isolate a lion against a gazelle, and you isolate the gazelle, they're going to die. If I went from dating girl after girl after girl after girl in Toronto, to I've not dated one girl in 10 years because of the amount of police violence. If I go anywhere near a girl that's not from Germany, they attack them and me. On a masculine level, what does that do to a man? Then I'm attacked with all this kind of stuff. Do you understand? I mean, it's about as sick as you can get. Then when I got attacked in that prison, I should be nowhere near a fucking prison. You know what they did? Stripped me naked and because they're trying to break me as a man. So it's, you know what? On the way here, if an onlooker doesn't know what I'm being subjected to, I'm actually raising my voice quite a lot. But if we're walking down the street and you're yelling because you want me to hear, but it's not at such a decibel that someone's going to come out the window. I have people looking out the window. So if I'm going through all that, and no matter where I go, I have eyes on me all the time. No matter where I go, someone's looking at you. That's going to destroy your mind, no?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Frankfurt, and the only other thing I would say is, if your country fronted human rights, they're trying to kill the only person giving me food. Because before I came to see you, it was a Dr. Badaim, a Dr. Bree in Meerbusch. What were the prime things they were trying to do? Stick me in a psych ward. Now the one thing I will tell you is, when I went from Canada to Edinburgh, they took me out. This is why I'm getting it in Germany. They took me out in Edinburgh, sent me to Stirling, which is supposed to be this Braveheart crap. Who was it that tortured me? A Dr. Michael Gotts, who is German, from Würzburg, which is twinned with Dundee, which is my city. And what did he try and attack me with? He tried to turn me gay. I was electrocuted, poisoned, and beaten for 2 months. Right. Saying, I'm not Canadian, I never lived in Canada. This was by a German doctor. Right. And you wonder why I'm getting this.
Yeah.
I need two, and I mean, even if you take on they're going after my nervous system, and my brain is not going to be able to take much more. I went to Rhina. Remember when I told you? Now, if I'm constantly attacked with, you know this thing in the bathroom? That's an attack as a male. Don't stand up and pee. Sit down. That's attack as a male, right? Is it not a little unusual? If I go to an Iraqi couch surfer, all he's talking about is marijuana, which I'm allergic to. How does it? He has psychology notes all over his desk. He's talking about perverted crap. He's talking about American politics. He's talking about RFID chips. He's talking about... why would an Iraqi say to me, why don't you claim political asylum? You're Canadian. Is that not a strange thing to say? You don't think someone told him who I was? Anything. So if a Canadian came to your house, would the first thing you talk to him about would be political asylum?
No.
Right.
Okay, so what can I do for you?
Well, I'll be honest with you. It's getting to September, right? And there's no doubt in my mind, AOK is trying to kill me as well. Because NHS did it, OHIP did it. Now, this is it. I told you SAP. SAP is basically behind this, right? SAP, Commerzbank, Sparkasse, AOK. It's always the same. Now, this is not going to go on longer than September because I'm now starting to post on social media. I have no other chance. And when I get close to posting on social media, this perverted thing gets worse and worse and worse and worse, right? So that's what I'm getting. Now, the manager of the hotel that I'm going to, I'm buying coffees. Do you know where he's from? Meerbusch. Where was the place where I first came from Edinburgh to here with German Anonymous? Meerbusch. What did they try and destroy me with? In Meerbusch, Bovard. Perverted crap. From the second day I got here, it was immediate attack. Now, if you take the fact that it was a Mika Orth in Toronto from the German church who started all this perverted stuff, then in the UK, they paid a German doctor for 2 months to destroy me with the exact thing. So now if I have 81 million people on me, how am I supposed to survive this when I have no get out? Because the British consulate doesn't want to get out. Trudeau knows exactly who I am. This is insane that I'm even having to mention the word Boris Johnson or Trudeau.
What can I do for you?
You know, the only thing I would tell you is, it's getting extremely dangerous for me walking to you, right? Because look what we've done to my shoes. Right? Because my ankle's broken 3 times, right? It's now starting to feel like glass in my knee. Now, I've got this one guy, he's Greek. He's willing to risk his life to give me food, an Italian guy to give me medical help. I want to go to Frankfurt. I'm going to have to try and get the Americans to say, look, whatever you did, I don't care, but you've got to get me out, right? The reason I'm trapped as well is in Toronto, they put a chip in my leg.
Okay.
They classes me as a terrorist that could kill me. right? And that's what Schweinfurt, I've been in the Schweinfurt military base. That's why they're calling me Edward Snowden. If you've literally made someone's situation so impossible to get out of, and almost insane, if I'm dealing with this back in 2013, it's only starting to come out now, what Twitter is about, what Facebook is about, and that's how they trapped me. Now, if you include medical corruption, banking corruption, I can still get out of it. If you involve politicians, no, but if you involve politicians, how do I escape? The only thing I would say to you on a medical level, just keep me alive with the sleep, breathing, and Nasonex if I need it until I can somehow get out of here.
So,
But I'm telling you, AOK at the end of September is probably going to do something bad to me.
you need to sleep, something.
I would do 2 of them because I can't walk back here.
Okay.
If they give you shit, I mean, it is what it is. I got to try and, this is my last month.
Okay.
This is really, if I can't get out this month, I don't know how I stay alive.
You need Nasonex, you need salbutamol.
Yeah, not the salbutamol, I have enough.
Nasonex and topiclone.
Yeah, ×2. And the issue is, I'm now 44, yes? This started when I was 36.
Okay.
If I get to a certain age, I'll never be able to come back. If I don't solve this now, everything I worked for my whole life is gone.
So, Nasonex.
Can I tell you one thing? You live in village, right? You know what I'm being subjected to? So if the police are doing the sirens, right? You obviously hear about police brutality in America. Do you know ambulances are doing that to me? Even when I came through the park, if I walk through Deerbush to the village, right?
Police is next door.
Yeah, I'm well aware. Look, oh, there's no doubt they're listening to you right now. What I'm saying is, as soon as I start to come through the village, right?
Yes.
If an ambulance is creeping around at 2 miles an hour, flashing the lights and doing this to me, an ambulance? Okay, an ambulance.
That's for you. I hope you have more luck in the
It's
future.
just not an act of terror.
Yeah.
On a male level, could you survive this as a male? No, it's not just once a day. It's every minute of every second. Which wear I turn. Could you survive this?
No, that's not. I wish you luck.